I'm trying to be prepared, but can't promise that I am because I'm never prepared. I plan and I write everything down and I get everything set up and then I'm still missing something. This is my April wrap up for myself and when I'm editing this, trying to figure out which video is which. April was okay. It was good in the sense that I read some thick boys, but I only finished 5 books and my colors were pink and yellow and it was super cute in my little bullet journal. So you can get a little sneak peek. My reading was really sad, which whatever, that was fine. It was sad. It only covered like 1 page for reviews because April was like the end of winter semester and winter semester is just really difficult. And it felt like instead of taking 5 classes, I was taking 10 classes because there was so much work that I had to do and things that I needed to get done. But I managed to pass everything with flying colors, so like that was really awesome. And I finished 2 series in the month of April and that makes me really happy. Caught up with a lot of stuff and there is a textbook that I get to talk about because I'm very excited about it actually. So without further ado, let's dive right in. The first book that I finished was a series finisher. I read the 5th book of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. So I'm finally done this huge binder that says "Don't Panic" on the back. The last book is called Mostly Harmless. And this one is kind of like a mind bender in the sense that there's like a lot of different dimensional things going on. Ford is back and he is probably still my favorite character. In this one, Arthur has traveled around the galaxy trying to find somewhere that he belongs, while Trisha or Trillian has become like a news reporter and she kind of like feels like she's missing something, so it's very complicated and I don't want to give anything away because the plot twist is like wild. But Arthur travels around until he finds a planet where he can just make sandwiches for the residents the whole time because they don't have an Earth in their realm. So they have to like find one. And then there's a separate dimension, Trisha, who is part of a world where Earth never got destroyed. And she works in New York or whatever. And they all end up running into each other. Like, it's wild. It was probably one of my favorite books in the series. I think it was 1, 3, and 5 were my favorite, I think. I think I pretty much gave them all 4 stars though. And still like one of my favorite movies of all time. If you have seen the movie and you really liked it, this is like a whole different experience because there's just, it's so complex but like cheesy and simple all at the same time. Like the way they explain everything, like I understood it. Which is really awesome and I really very much enjoyed it. And I think it's like the 42nd anniversary this year or something that this was published and it's like a classic. So classic reading. I actually liked it. The next book I gave 5 stars to and it is The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin. This one is the final book to the 5th season series. Trilogy, yep. That's what it's called. It's a trilogy. What do I say about this? I can't, like, when I'm explaining what I've read, I like the end of a series or something, I don't want to like talk too much about it because it is like would give things away. But I was thinking about it because I'm taking a world literature class and writing my notes for it and such. This book is told basically in 2nd person, which is super rare and I don't think I've ever read a book from 2nd person before. But it's told from the point of view of, I guess, the main character, but somebody has been telling you as the main character what you have done kind of thing. I don't know how to like explain it. There's Nasoon and oh my gosh, what's her name? I can't remember anybody's name in this. But like the end of the world is kind of coming, the moon is coming back and they're gonna try and get the moon and there's a whole thing that's going on and figuring out how the magic works. And the magic in this world is really awesome. And there are flashbacks from when the moon disappeared versus when it's coming back right now and they're trying to grab it, which is really cool. So you get to see like what happened the day that it was shot out into space and then the day that it came back kind of thing. And it's really awesome. Like I really very much enjoyed it. I definitely recommend this if you want like some new magic system that is just like, I've never experienced anything like this before. It was amazing. And I gave it 5 stars. Did I say that? Yeah, I hope I did. The next book I ended up giving 4 stars to, which is going to be a surprise. It is City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. This one's pretty beefy. It took me basically all month to read. Listen to the audiobook, and I don't want to say too much because I'm going to save all my thoughts and feelings for the Parapatai book club, but I will say that I liked this one a lot more than I liked City of Fallen Angels. Actually, this is probably my favorite book in the, what is it called, Mortal Instruments series. This is the only one that kind of like grabbed my interest and I wanted to keep picking it back up out of like all of them. So that was interesting to say the least. I also just wish that there's like, okay, here's what I will say about it. Clara keeps ruining Jace's life, but also Jace won't stay dead. That's all I have to say. Alright, so the, like, overall, like, this month was really good, like 4 and 5 stars, because the next book was also 5 stars. So this was my textbook that I had to read, and it's called Indigenous Rights, A Guide to First Nations, Métis, and Inuit Issues in Canada by Chelsea Vowell. This was like a textbook for my Indigenous Studies class, and it was honestly like really good. Even if you aren't in Canada, I feel like this would be a really good thing. And I'm going to tell you what's in the table of contents so that you, like, if you want information on these things, you will know where to find them in this book. So the first one is names for Indigenous peoples, explaining why different people like to be called different things. And then names for non-Indigenous Canadians. And then it talks about status, Métis identity, Inuit identity, why different terms matter, so like hunter-gatherers, trappers, harvesters, that kind of thing. And then there's like a bunch like cultural boundaries and property laws, two-spirit identity, language and culture, and then there's a bunch of myth she goes through, which I think is very important. The myth of progress, the myth of the level playing field, the myth of taxation, the myth of free housing, the myth of the drunken Indian, the myth of wandering nomad, and the myth of authenticity. So this is like amazing to just, it like talks about a little bit of everything, and there's like so many sources in here, so you can go find more if you would like. It talks about residential schools, it talks about Inuit relocation, talks about the prairies, talks about reserves, talks about drinking water, like all the stuff. And she does it really beautifully, and there is an audiobook available. I really did like the audiobook too because I listened to it while I wrote my notes. I actually wrote about the myth of the level playing field when I did my final exam because we had to pick one of the myths, and this was just overall like a really good informational piece that if you're looking to start somewhere, this is a really good place to start. And I very much appreciate that this is my textbook. And they always have one copy in an Indigo or chapters when you go of this book, because I bought one and as soon as like I had bought it, they replaced it with one copy. So like there's always gonna be one copy of these in an Indigo and chapters like near you, because there's always one in one of the ones around me. I just find it very important and more people should know about it. Now the book that everybody's been waiting for. I should have done, I like really wish I did like a reading vlog, but it took me quite a while to read this because I didn't want it to end, because I knew as soon as I would want it to end, I was going to want to reread the entire series because I am just that insane. So, Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. This is the final book that she has published so far. I know there's going to be 2 more books after this. This is the Indigo exclusive edition that I had pre-ordered and showed up late. Very annoyed. I pre-ordered it back in like September, I feel like, and it didn't show up till like 2 weeks after the release date or something stupid. I was so annoyed. I ended up reading like the first half really fast, and then I was like, wait, take a deep breath, soak it in, and then continue. And then I finished the last half in like a day. It was really bad. But this was, wow, so good. I was so stupid when I was reading it too, because I had like 50 pages left and I went to work and I left it in the car because I was like, oh, you don't need to bring this huge ass book to work. And I did need to bring it to work because I needed to read it. Thoughts and feelings. For people who have read the series, I know a lot of people don't like this because they don't like Nesta. And I read this entire post that was like, you guys don't like Nesta because she chose a different healing route for her trauma than Farah did. Farah chose to look for help in other people, get her, I don't know how to explain it. She chose the normal route that people choose in books to get help, or to like talk about her trauma and to like welcome her emotions and stuff. Whereas Nesta chose the other route, which is to like cut herself off and punish herself for her trauma. And both of them are like very valid responses, but people don't like the way that Nesta chose to do it. And after reading that post, I was like, okay, this makes a lot more sense. So I went into this book more with an open mind than I think a lot of people did, because they really truly hated Nesta. And I liked Nesta. I liked her point of view. Mostly wanted to see Cassian get his happy ending. I didn't really care if she got a happy ending or not, though I appreciate what she went through and all of her training and the friends that she made and the relationships she created, I guess, or formed with other people in the story. I very much love her friend group so much. I did not like the little added Indigo exclusive at the end, I will say that. This is the one, there are 3 different ones I think that we could have gotten, and this was the one with Farah and Reese naming, I won't say it, but if I say it's a Farah and Reese chapter, you know exactly what I'm saying. Whereas the other chapter was the Azrael chapter, and I had to go online to find it. I was very upset that I couldn't find it anywhere else, but anyways, so this is the boring one, but that's fine. This was still like really amazing, and still makes me want to reread the entire thing, even though the cover looks gross. I also read something that was like really funny, and I thought I should bring it up because like people are gonna be sick of me talking about this, but they're like, the series is so good that it makes the first book look bad, which is so funny. If you've read the first book and you absolutely hated it, just keep going. It gets way better. This one was really good. I didn't know where it was going, I didn't know what was gonna happen, but I appreciated every second of it. Oh my gosh. I very much also loved that I got no spoilers the entire time I was reading this. Like, shout out to the online book community, because I've been getting spoilers for literally everything else other than this one. Like, what did I get spoilers for? There was something else. Oh, there was like another book that got released and I got so many spoilers for it, and this one was like, nope, nothing. And I got spoiled for something. I can't remember what it is. I probably just blocked it out of my head, but I cannot describe to you how much I love this series. I just want to look at it all day. Not this book, the other books. They're all in the cubby, so it's fine. Oh, what did I say in my little thingamabob? That was pretty much it. I just put in my thing, I was like, I totally wish I would have finished this sooner so I could read all the memes. Which is really cute. I love all the memes. Anyways, side note, the inside of this book has like a really cool pattern. I don't know if you can see that, but that's like the prettiest part of the book. I'll just say that. I still have like 4 little dog ears I have to highlight to go in there. But anyways, that was what I read in the month of April, and I hope this video wasn't boring, even though I couldn't collect my thoughts and figure out what I was trying to say the entire time. But thank you so much for watching. What was your favorite book in April? Because mine was obviously this one. I like literally, I was so mad at myself because I was reading it in the car when I got dropped off at work, and I was like, oh, I won't bring it into work, that's fine. And then I got to work and I was like 20 minutes early, and I was like, I could have just sat and finished it, but no. So I got the scribd audiobook out and was like, finish her, and I did, and it was wonderful. But that's that story. I need to go, I'm doing my best. I do not want to reread this series this year specifically. Next year maybe, but this year I'm focusing on all the other stuff. It's fine. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you all had a great April whenever this video will be up, probably in June, but you know. And I hope you all are, wait, what was I gonna say? Happy reading to all. It's very early in the morning. I need to go back to bed. And have a great day. Bye.